DJ Sokol Arena here in Omaha, Nebraska. Day 2 of the NAIA opening round coverage. We have our third game of the day, and it is Dakota State, the 1 seed, taking on the winner of yesterday's game, the Providence Argonauts. And talking about yesterday's game briefly, it was chaotic. 50 combined turnovers, but the team standing at the end of the game was Providence. How do they take what happened yesterday and a kind of injured Maldonado and come into this game and try to take down a 1 seed like Dakota State, who's very, very good?
Well, we were talking about how yesterday it was chaotic and it was weathering a storm against the University of the Cumberland Patriots, where that press just killed the Argonauts for a good while in that game. It was tough for them to break it down. And it was a storm in the way that it's all you can do is really survive. Because you know what's coming. You know the one thing you need to do is beat the press, and you'll be able to beat that Cumberland team yesterday. The problem with Providence tonight is there isn't just one problem to deal with. You can't just break down the press and it's easy buckets against this Dakota State team. You're going to have to plug a lot of gaps. You're going to have to it's going to be a tough day at the office, to put it mildly, for the Argonauts tonight. They're going to have their hands full.
Dakota State, first in the country in steals, second in field goal percentage, third in total offense, fourth in assists. Shall I go on? They have unbelievable amounts of talent. They are spread across the board, defense and offense. They are just one of the best teams in the country, and it starts with first-teamers like Jesse Giles and LZ Asleason. These two players have both been fantastic this season, both first-team all-conference. They're going to have a day for them to get past Providence and advance to the round of 16.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to have to be whoever comes out on top of this game. It's not going to be a blowout, or at least I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a pretty tough contested matchup between these two sides, and it's just going to come down to who executes better, who's, I guess, more disciplined, because we saw yesterday there wasn't much discipline in that game. Whoever is able to keep their composure throughout the 40 minutes of basketball that we have coming up will make it down to make it up to Sioux City. Got my geography all mixed up.
And we await 40 seconds until tip-off. Providence won a crazy one yesterday, and they look to try to extend that win streak today as they lost in their conference championship 81-61. As we said, bounced back yesterday, and Dakota State has had a flawless season. One of the best teams in the country, and now we will take it down to the floor for the starting lineups as we await Dakota State taking on Providence.
Good evening and welcome to the DJ Sokol Arena in Omaha, Nebraska for the opening round of the 2021 NAIA Basketball National Championship. At this time, let's meet today's starters. First, for the Trojans of Dakota State University.
The sold-out crowd here at DJ Sokol Arena in Omaha, Nebraska is ready for this one to start. the number 14 Dakota State Trojans and the Providence Argonauts. Which one will advance to Sioux City, Iowa, and advance to the round of 16 at the Tyson Event Center? Both teams awaiting tip-off now. Dakota State, their first game in Omaha. Providence won an unbelievable game yesterday,
in which they almost lost the services from the tournament of their star, Emily Maldonado, who gets the nod today with the ankle brace rocking today.
Definitely rocking that ankle brace. Had to do a little bit of warm-up activity to try to see how good she was and if she was ready to play. She didn't look like she was nagging much during warm-ups. Did a good job, layup up and good to start this one. And who else but Jessie Giles, the team's leading scorer, first team all NSAA, scored doubles in all but 2 games.
And we're seeing a press early on here.
And right away they get it up the floor to Parker Ezra. Goes up for the layup and good. Maybe they've learned from some of the mistakes they made yesterday.
They might have learned. Dakota State did their homework, realized the press discombobulated the Argonauts yesterday against the University of Cumberland. They're doing their homework and putting the pressure on the Argonauts, but the Argonauts might have learned their lesson from yesterday, and they are adjusting well, and they might have proved early on that they can beat the press after all.
And that's going to be a foul on the play, so we're going to see Providence get it from the sideline. But yes, they are 2 for 2 in terms of dealing with that full court pressure. Parker Ezra had a big day yesterday as well. En route to their win, her and Maldonado. Maldonado left the game early with an ankle injury, now back in the starting lineup. Dixon gets it over to Hazard. Hazard back up top to Maldonado. Now a zone defense look to try to throw him off. 3 on the shot clock. They're going to have to get something up, and they save it, so they force a shot clock violation. Heads up play by the defense to save it, to not give them a chance to reset and ultimately force a turnover.
Yeah, that's really intelligent basketball to keep that one alive and let the shot clock expire. And you heard the Dakota State Trojan fans surrounding this arena. It is a sold-out crowd, and it looks like it is majority Trojans.
McDonald's going to hand it off to Giles. Giles' layup no good. Dixon grabs the rebound. The co-freshman of the year in the Frontier Conference. Dixon still, Hazard with it, gets to Maldonado, and the trap comes from Giles. Now to Dixon at the high post. Nice ball movement here from Providence to try to make this zone defense work. Left-handed hook from Ezra, misses short. Nice rebound there from McDonald. Now pass up the floor, easy bucket there. Jessie Giles with the first 4 already for Dakota State. They're able to get it to half court, and potential travel there in the middle of the paint. That's going to be flicked over to the corner. Dixon across court pass to Maldonado. Back to Ezra inside. Layup up and no good. The block there. Ashlyn McDonald recovers the rebound. Now it's Lexi Robson bringing it up the floor, the 5'7" junior guard from Grand Forks. 3 in the corner. No good. But an offensive rebound right back up, and that one's going to send her to the free throw line. LCS Leeson, the other first team all-conference selection on this team, getting started early on. 6.5 rebounds a game. That offensive rebound gives her free throws.
Yeah, and the Trojans look to be dominating this game early on. It's something I'm noticing when they're on the defensive side of the court. They are shutting down Emily Maldonado. She may be hurt, but they are making sure she does not get a singular open look so far, no matter how much ball movement is knocked around the paint. They just cannot find Maldonado on an open look.
Both free throws no good. A 71% free throw shooter going 0 for 2. Reed Hazard gets it over to Maldonado. A bit of an extended 2-3 zone here from Dakota State. Number 14 in the country, sitting at 25-3, undefeated 14-0 in NSAA play. Cross-court pass, Maldonado, 5 on the shot clock, step back 3, and that ankle appears to be fine, Owen.
It looks to be all good there. Maldonado hitting the first open look she's had of the day.
Nice ball movement, now an open 3 on the wing, no good. Offensive rebound, Giles. Back out to McDonald. Ball movement here as Leeson gets it over to Menning. Now 3 from Giles, and she connects. 7 points for for Giles early on. What an absolute start. 7 points for the Trojans, all 7 coming from one player. but Providence again breaking the press pretty well. Now Dixon short corner. No good. And another rebound for Ashlyn McDonald. Giles the other way. Against Maldonado. Euro step. Right-handed layup. Good. I think a hot start would be an adequate way to describe what we've seen from Giles here early on.
I think that might be an understatement. She is putting the team on her back and carrying them. Nicely done. 10-second violation. Trojan basketball.
We're going back the other way as we see Pemberton come into the game for Cartwright. Dakota start off to a nice start, only up 4 points. Maldonado kind of nursing an ankle injury, hit a big three earlier. And it's going to be Shaylee DeBeer getting things started on the offensive end. Into the block is Kepsel. May have shuffled her feet out to Giles. Maldonado the other way off the miss. Diggins. Now Maldonado. And Ezra rips through, spins middle, left-handed hook, way short. Kepsel with the rebound. DeBeer advances up the floor, loses the basketball, but somehow saves it right into the hands of Maldonado. Missed opportunity for Dakota State. The two top defenders in the 2-3 really extended right now, trying to put the pressure on Providence. We saw yesterday the University of the Cumberlands really make things difficult. Hazard into the high post. Back out to Maldonado. Three on the way. No good. And a rebound there for DeBeer. Transition opportunity. Up to Giles. Kicks it out. Nice stop there. Reed Hazard's going to pick up the foul there. You like the pressure against Giles inside, but at some point you have to keep your hands off.
Yeah, and you can't, like we saw in the last game, you can't have somebody, especially one of the top players like Hazard, you got to just teach them you can't have too many fouls early on in this game because then you're walking a tightrope for the rest of the time. You have to be a little bit smarter when it comes to your pressure.
Nagel with it. Now into the block is Kepsel. Left-handed hook, no good. Nice fight for the rebound by Nagel, but it's going to be won by Maldonado. Now here comes some of that full court pressure, and it's led by DeBeer. But then a steal from the backside to Nagel. Right back, and the left-handed layup just no good. Didn't put enough on it. Layup no good on the second try. DeBeer and Walsdorf couldn't get it to go. Walsdorf, a second-team all-conference selection despite no starts on the season. Maldonado, no good. Ezra put back, no good, but the foul. Sending her to the free throw line, and despite the fact that it seems like Dakota State is getting look after look on the other end, Providence still hanging around.
Yeah, it's only a 4-point lead. They have not been executing very well. They've had a couple of looks where they could have extended this lead to double digits by now if they would have just been a little bit sharper when it comes to the transition.
Providence just 28% from the floor to start this game. First free throw good from Ezra. Ezra's second free throw. Yes. 9-7 the score. Shaylee DeBeer will bring it up. Kepsel's going to set a ball screen up top. It's going to be Savannah Walsdorf in the corner. Nice cross-court pass. They're trying to work it inside, and it works out for them. Kepsel gets that one to go, and Morgan Kepsel with her first basket of the evening.
It's going to be tough to stop in the paint if they keep getting service into her.
And now they get it across half court. Pemberton guarded closely by Nagel. Out to Maldonado, top of the key. Into the high post. Cartwright kicks it out. Brooklyn Hom. Cartwright 4 on the shot clock, gets it over to Hom. Hom had a good game yesterday, no good, but offensive rebound, Cartwright. And then a travel on the play. It was a nice effort on the play, but have to know where your pivot foot is on that kind of space inside the paint.
Yeah, it was excellent movement to get up and underneath and get that ball in. Just maybe shuffled her feet a little bit too much there. 4-point deficit.
Now Dakota State looking to build on their lead. 3 minutes left in the opening quarter. A much quicker game than what we saw yesterday when Providence was in. Savannah Walsdorf, right wing. Nice ball screen from Nagel, back over to Walsdorf. They're moving it around here, working the shot clock. 5 on the shot clock, layup, up and good. It's gonna be Lexi Robson getting it to go. Robinson, the native of Grand Forks, and Pemberton's gonna be fouled. Robson has really gotten hot lately. 5 of the last 7 games in double figures. As Nagel comes out of the game, coming back in is Ashlyn McDonald. McDonald already with 3 rebounds in this one. Hom catches it. Oh, and we saw the impact Brooklyn Hom had yesterday, especially when Maldonado went out for the rest of the game. She came in and provided big minutes.
Yeah, she did. And not only big minutes, but big points as well. She was able to put that game to bed late on and make sure that the Argonauts were to advance in the absence of their best scorer.
And they entry pass into Esri, no good, and that's a foul. Kennedy Cartwright just could not find Esri on that play, and it forces Parker to commit the foul.
It looks like Esri dove a little bit too far forward there, might have hit her head on the court. She was grabbing at her jaw.
It's only the first foul on Esri, but she will head to the bench probably just to check on her, make sure she's all right. In the meantime, 6-point lead for the number 14 Trojans in their first game in Omaha here in the NAIA opening round. Working it around the perimeter, they throw it over the top. Nice backside defense from Cartwright. Foot was out of bounds, possession will stay here, but you love the backside effort, especially when they're lobbing it over the top.
Yeah, defensively, you know exactly what's going to come likely from Dakota State when they start to maneuver down onto this near side, trying to get it up and over the top. So just to come onto that backside and give it a little bit of help helps a lot.
And Jessie Giles gets the fortunate bobble and the bucket. She is still off to a fantastic start, 11 points already in the first quarter. Nice job getting it over the top to Maddie Dixon. And nice recovery to knock it out of bounds. Possession stays here.
Yeah, but they had the open look from 3. If they just would have been able to get it out to Cartwright, she has wide open.
Reed Hazard's going to come back in for Brooklyn Hom. Cartwright inbounding. Finds Maldonado, covered closely by Robson. And now a backside help. Nice job pivoting, and the bucket from Maldonado. Had pressure coming from both sides, did a little reverse pivot to find a lane and gets the bucket on the other end. Layup no good. It was Courtney Menning. Now some pressure here from Giles. Maldonado handling it with grace. Gets it over the top to Pemberton. Back over to Maldonado. Trying to get someone in the middle of the lane, and they find Cartwright. Cartwright tried to lob it over the top. That needs to be a bounce pass. We saw some of that yesterday. Pemberton tried to throw a bullet inside, and it's going to be on the floor. Cartwright the first to fall on it, and a jump ball called. 6 on the shot clock here off this jump ball.
Yeah, just a poor pass down inside to lead to that loose ball situation that never really seemed to have been corralled until the whistle.
Let's see what they do on this inbound. Only 6 to work with. 1:01 left in the first quarter. And the entry pass into Cartwright again. We're going to get another jump ball, most likely. Pemberton able to poke it out. 1 on the shot clock. They do not get it off in time. That will be a shot clock violation. The Dakota State defense has been stifling early on, particularly in the passing lanes. They're getting their fingertips on passes and making things uncomfortable.
Now the Trojans really erecting the wall of Troy around the perimeter. They are not letting anything through.
Giles cross-court pass over to Robson. Trying to get it inside to Asleason, and they do. Asleason works towards the middle. Gets it back out. 12 on the shot clock. Robson. Nice cut inside from Giles. Layup no good. Rebound to Hazard. 28 on the game clock. About a 2-second difference between shot and game clock. Maldonado into the corner. Pemberton wide open 3. No good. That one just rattles out. Ashlyn McDonald gives it up. Asleason's going to settle it. Giles baseline drive opposite. It's Nagel. Drives in the middle of the lane. Tough. Looks somehow. Gets the fall with 4 on the clock. Maldonado's going to have to get something up here, and she's just going to let the clock run out. Dakota State in front of a sold-out crowd here at DJ Sokol's putting on a show. 17-9 lead as we head into the second quarter. For Matt Kirkland, Owen Godberson, we'll be back in a moment.
Diverse and inclusive involvement opportunities are abundant at Clark University. Discover your perfect fit in one of our 20-plus student clubs and organizations or one of our 21 athletic teams. Here we are a family. We are one Clark, one community. At Clark University, we offer a variety of majors and minors to help you in your academic journey. Tap into your subconscious and consider what you love to do, what you are drawn to do, and what you excel at. Here, we are a family. We are one Clark, one community.
Welcome back to Omaha, Nebraska at the DJ Sokol Arena. First quarter in the books. We are getting ready for the second frame. Dakota State on top 17-9 after an unreal performance from the leader herself, Jessie Giles. 11 points in the first quarter. Her season average is 16.8. She's already pretty much there after one quarter.
Yeah, she's going to get there probably before halftime.
And now it's a nice, easy lay-in to start the quarter from Kepsel. Morgan Kepsel with her second bucket of the evening, and now it's a 10-point advantage already in the opening stages of the second quarter. Dixon catches. Reed Hazard's going to reset. And this zone defense is looking to trap every possible corner and spot they can achieve. At the top of the key, we like to see the two come up and make a trap. Maldonado catches on the wing. 7 on the shot clock. Inez Ray. Essery, jumper no good. She's a bit off to a slow start. Just 1 of 5 from the floor to begin the game. Got a bucket right away and then hasn't done much since. Giles in the corner, now dribbles up towards the wing. Ball reversals, and an easy bucket inside from Kepsel. Is there anything Providence can do to eliminate that as we get a timeout here, a 30-second one? This has just been difficult for Providence to adjust to some of the strength and some of the size that they have inside the paint.
When it's that much of a pinpoint ball into Kepsel, no. Frankly speaking, there is no defending it. You can't get a body to it unless you can somehow read the future.
I mean, with players like Jessie Giles on the floor, it's tough because you have to defend the perimeter. I was about to say, you want to honestly have some sort of help just sitting backside almost all the time, but that leaves you susceptible to shooters on the perimeter, which against a team like this, you do not want to do. So there's a bit of give and take, almost pick your poison right now for Providence.
Exactly what I was talking about earlier. Yesterday when they had to break through the press at Cumberland, they had one thing to worry about. This is a war on multiple fronts that it's almost impossible to win. If you guard the inside, the perimeters light you up. If you guard the perimeter, you're beat up on the inside. I wish I had a way. I wish I had some brief tactical analysis, some brilliant epiphany that I could use to help the Argonauts make this a game. But right now, Dakota State and the Trojans are dominating here.
And an offensive foul against the Argonauts. Possession coming back the other way. 21-9 in the opening stages of the second quarter, and it's McDonald bringing it up. Still doesn't have a shot from the floor. Back into Kepsel. 3 on the way. McDonald with the answer. 24-9. More full court pressure here from the Trojans. Reed Hazard kind of does it by herself out to Cartwright. She gets in the teeth of the defense. No good. McDonald wasting no time the other way. Excuse me, that was Menning. Now Menning catches on the right wing. Tried to get it into Kepsel, and that's about as good as you're going to do as they force a turnover there. You almost have to do sort of a half front. Get a hand out, try to make the passing lane a little bit harder to reach, but you can't full front because then you're giving up that backside.
Exactly. You can only do so much, and they did it to perfection there. Cartwright doing a nice job getting her top hand to it, but even a blind squirrel's right twice a day.
And the inbound immediately to half court, but the trap almost settling in on Reed Hazard. She's able to pass out. Into the middle of the paint is Dixon. Maldonado with a chance from 3. That one misses. And now Jessie Giles with a chance here. Gives it off to Walsdorf, inside, up and under. That one just clanked off the bottom of the rim. Wasn't quite sure she knew where she was on the floor. And a foul called on the floor. That one's gonna go against De Beer. De Beer will come out of the game. Coming back in is gonna be Lexi Robson.
Maldonado hasn't exactly been the sharpest from shooting. Only 2 for 5, 1 for 3 from beyond the arc.
They need to try to get her more involved as that pass to Maldonado almost tipped. Dixon catches middle of the lane, takes one dribble up and under. Can't get that one to go, but the offensive rebound put back and one finish. The co-freshman of the year in the Frontier Conference cleaning up well there and trying her best to maybe kickstart some sort of energetic run.
Yeah, there's a reason she's one of the best underclassmen in the division. She has been fantastic. And not only that, but she's able to get the service in. Maldonado, a brilliant player. She's got great awareness on the court, knowing when and where to put those balls in. Almost saved on this near side.
Possession will stay here with the Argonauts. I think that possession might have gone to Dakota State had there not been a save attempt. I just think that some of the Dakota State players weren't aware of who touched it last, so it's better to be safe. But now another look here. Kennedy Cartwright to Reed Hazard, who takes a three. And the long distance call, no good. Here come the Trojans. 25-3 on the season, 14-0, a perfect record in conference play. Ran the table and won the NSAA conference. A drive in from Walsdorf, stops. Jumper no good. Esleeson, nice up and under and a foul to get her defender in the air. The pump fake was beautiful on that play to earn free throws.
Oh, the patience, the awareness, everything about that was sensational to send Esleeson to the line.
Esleeson on the game, 0 points on 0 for 1 from the floor. There gets her first free throw. The 6'1" junior forward from Concordia, Nebraska. 11.3 points a game, goes 2 for 2 there. Just 2 for 4 on the game. 18 times in double figures. The trap almost forces a turnover. Now Maldonado gets across half court. The trap trying to set. Now Brooklyn Hom with a tough jumper. That one, nothing doing. Here come the Trojans again. It's Walsdorf. Into the paint to Giles. Fakes one way, fakes the other. Take your time and get the bucket. Nice job there from Jessie Giles.
13 points of her team's 28.
Over to Cartwright. Nice pump fake and drive. Pull-up jumper. That one off the mark as well. And Esleeson rips it down. Now a 3-on-1. Dish over to Giles and another bucket for her. 15 points and a timeout to go with it. The coaches storming the floor, embracing their players. 32-11. What a game we have seen so far from Dakota State. You cannot get much better than this.
No, they've played flawlessly so far. They just haven't taken care of maybe 1 or 2 possessions on the transition down the court. Other than that, they have been flawless. There is almost nothing that Providence can do. They have no answers for the questions being posed by the Trojans.
52% from the floor to start the game. 13 of 25. Providence, 4 of 19. It has been a struggle for them on the other end, and this defense, you can tell, like we talked about earlier, they learned something from last night's game. They learned the University of Cumberland's forced 29 turnovers. How? Pressure. Get out, trap, make passing lanes hard, and they will make mistakes. And so far, they've done their fair share. Already 7 turnovers for the Argonauts. And we'll see out of this timeout if they can figure out something in this press break. And immediately Maldonado trapped in the corner, nowhere to go. The trap settling in, she's able to pivot out of it. Maldonado, such a good point guard. And now the crowd wants to travel there. They might not get it. Another 10-second call. There may be no call better that makes a team feel better than forcing a 10-second call. The fact that it could not get past half court for a full 10 count is just something that motivates your defense to want to be better than that.
They have been absolutely sensational at defending inside of the front court. They're not allowing anything past. I'm almost running out of words. No way, Giles. No way, Giles!
Have yourself a day. 18 first half points. She has outscored the entire Argonauts team by 7. And now Reed has her trying to get out of a double team, and she does. Yeah, as a former player, I don't think there's any call I loved more than a 10-second call. Just rejuvenated your defense and helped confirm what you're working on. 3 there from Pemberton, no good. Giles coming back the other way, gets it up the floor, almost loses it, kicks it out. Another pass, extra pass, and it's Giles again. And that's a 3 from S. Leeson, that one off the mark. On the year, S. Leeson, a 31% three-point shooter, can't get that one to go. Maldonado tries to get into the paint, it's gonna be tipped and stolen, another transition opportunity. Here comes Giles to Walsdorf in the short corner. She's gonna back it out and slow it down. Wide open 3, that one off the mark, misses short. Courtney Menning still looking for her first bucket from the floor. Reed Hazard avoids trouble there. And that one's gonna be tipped out of bounds, stays here. Already 8 first half turnovers for the Argonauts, and they trail by 22. More substitutions into the game for Dakota State. They're gonna be in a 2-3 out of this out of bounds play. They get it into Ezri. Parker Ezri goes up and under, layup good. First we've seen from her since the very first offensive possession of the game for Providence. Nice defensive effort from Dixon to stop the transition attack. Out to Menning. Into the corner to McDonald. Opposite, 3 on the way. No good again, missing short. But an offensive rebound from McDonald and a jump ball. The Dakota State fans have showed up in full force given the COVID protocols, and man, you can tell it is helping their team get out to a huge lead early on.
Yeah, we've seen home field advantage or home court advantage kind of travel with a couple of teams in this NAIA opening round tournament. We saw the Jimmies just the game before knocking off the LSU Shreveport Pilots with the home field advantage, and now it looks like the crowd here helping out the Trojans, although with how good this Trojan team is, not sure how much they would have ended up needing it.
Pemberton's 3 no good. Ezri with the offensive rebound and a foul on the floor. I could not agree with you more though. This team is efficient as it is. If this place was empty, we could still potentially see them with a lead like they have right now. This team is a very, very efficient team in all walks of the game. Into Ezri. Layup up and another one. 6 points early on, now 8 on 3 of 8 from the floor, and quickly up the floor, it's Walsdorf fouled on the play. Heading to the free throw line, the 6-foot sophomore from Kiel, Wisconsin. Had a red hot start to the season. Walsdorf was averaging 15.1 points per game through the first 9, all in double figures. Since then, only 5 of the last 11 she's ended up in doubles, but still was named second team all-conference. First free throw good there. She's 33rd nationally in steals, currently 2 games in a row in double figures. Gets the second one to go. 51% from the floor on the season, and more importantly, 47.5 from 3. She has been great for this team despite no starts. As Providence fairly easily breaks through. Now Reed Hazard all the way to the second hash. Now another 3 from Pemberton, this one also no good. Offensive rebound. Ezri has been that player for this team all tournament. Now a jumper from Maldonado, no good. And they're off to the races again. This is how they beat teams. And Kennedy Cartwright gets their offensive foul. I'm not quite sure about that one. Looked like she might have been in midair when she received that contact, but nonetheless, nice heads-up play of at least trying to be in the right position.
Yeah, I appreciate the effort, and it was a good effort, but her feet were not set there for the charge.
Nonetheless, it was a great play that gives Providence the ball back.
And can they take advantage of it? They need a bucket to keep it close. Down 20 with 2:45 to go. Hitting a big shot here. Might do it.
Cartwright no good, but Ezri again fighting for the ball. She seems to be the only player alongside Maldonado that's putting up a fight so far in this one. In transition, Menning, no good. And then an offensive foul. That one's going to go against Kepsel. And that's always a tough play when there's not a lot of box out. It seems as if, though, you're almost punishing the player for just having a size advantage over your opposition.
Yeah, absolutely. She's got about maybe an 1.5 to 2 inch reach difference over the top, and didn't look like it was going to be much on that, but we are going to go down here into the bonus.
The foul's going to send Ezri to the free throw line. Parker Ezri, 8 points, 4 rebounds already in this one. First trip to the stripe. Excuse me, second trip to the stripe. 2 for 2 in the first one. Makes the first there. Just 3 of 8 from the floor so far in this one, but she leads the team with 8. Now 10 with the 2 free throws. 35-17, 2:30 to go in the half. How much can Providence start to end some of these runs? Kepsel deep. Trying to find the back cutting player. Now nice heads up play from Kennedy Cartwright. Back-to-back plays. Gets the charge, throws it off the defender on this possession. And it was a nice effort there from Shaylee DeBeer, but even better from Cartwright.
Yeah, and the Providence Argonauts have done a nice job here defensively, just kind of shoring things up, making sure they get a couple of stops. They need to turn it into points, though, if they want to get back up into this contest.
Hom tries to throw it inside. It was deflected off the rim, and the pass is going to be out of bounds off of, they say it was Dakota State. So the Argonauts get possession on the sideline. They tried to get it into Ezri. The pass was tipped, and it looked like it might have gone in. As Ezri tries to go beneath the rim, gets it out to Cartwright. Dribbles to the elbow, quick ping pass over. Now Pemberton's going to pass it back over to Maldonado. This scramble defense is effective. The 3 from Cartwright, no good. Offensive rebound, Ezri, and 1 finish. 12 points in the first half. She has been the highlight so far for the Argonauts.
Yeah, she is single-handedly keeping the Argonaut ship alive and well today. 12 points for Parker Ezri, and not only the points there, she has what will now be 5 rebounds on the day so far. She is having herself an afternoon.
About the only highlight. Maldonado has 5, but hasn't had a shot attempt in a while. As I said, this scramble defense from Dakota State, it's similar to what we see to other fast-paced teams in college basketball, but it's a type of defense where there may be 5s running out there guarding shooters. It's just scramble, scramble, scramble. Comparing it to your sports soccer, it's similar to the Gegenpress approach. Everybody's running around. You're not necessarily in a specific position other than just taking away passing lanes and trapping players, as now it's out for a wide open corner 3, and that one is cash money from Lexi Robson. 1 for 2 from 3 on the game, and the lead extends to 18.
Yeah, that was nicely done there from Robson in the corner. Just flawless execution on that shot.
Now another missed opportunity for the Argonauts. Jesse Giles the other way, nothing doing on the pass attempt inside. Looked to try to get a layup. McDonald into Aleeson. Layup no good. Less than a minute to play now, 38-20. Providence just trying to hang around so they can make a second half run. Cartwright, pump fakes, pull-up jumper inside. Yes, that's a big one. That keeps the door open, only 16 now. Still a lot of work to do, but you're in it. Layup no good. Maddie Dixon can't recover the rebound, and a nice dish to Giles ends in 2. The mistake from Providence results in a bucket for the Trojans. The number 14 Dakota State squad right now up 40-22. Here comes the trap into the middle of the paint. Another jumper from Cartwright. Bang! Gets another one. 2 in a row for Cartwright, as well as the charge earlier and the deflection off of another Dakota State player to give him possession. She's had big moments lately. 5 on the game clock. They need to do something. Drive from Robson. Kicks it out. It's going to be Walsdorf at the buzzer, and she gets it to go. Savannah Walsdorf gets a huge one. The 6-foot sophomore forward sends them to halftime with an 18-point lead, 42-24 over Providence. Owen, any last-second thoughts before we head to the break?
The message in the locker room for the Providence Argonauts has just got to be keep yourselves in it. Keep hitting shots, and I like what they're doing. They're not opting for the 3-ball because the 3-ball has not been there today for the Argonauts. 11% from beyond the arc, 1 for 9. However, they're shooting a little bit better, 28% from the field. They're dribbling it in, they're taking easy shots, and instead of going for the three and maybe hitting it, probably not hitting it, they're going inside, hitting easier shots, and getting two on the board in a much easier fashion. That's what you need to do to slowly chip away at this lead.
We'll see what kind of fight we get from the Argonauts out of the break. We will take a break with the halftime intermission. 42-24, Dakota State on top. We'll be back with some halftime analysis as well as second half action in about 14 minutes. We will see you then.
Diverse and inclusive involvement opportunities are abundant at Clark University. Discover your perfect fit in one of our 20-plus student clubs and organizations or one of our 21 athletic teams. Here we are a family. We are one Clark, one community. At Clark University, we offer a variety of majors and minors to help you in your academic journey. Tap into your subconscious and consider what you love to do, what you are drawn to do, and what you excel at. Here, we are a family. We are one Clark, one community.
Because no two sports-related injuries are alike, our sports medicine team is made up of people from all medical backgrounds covering a variety of specialties.
We work together to create a treatment plan customized to your individual injury.
We understand that activity is not limited by age, gender, or skill level, and we offer care that is tailored to you.
Sports injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend warrior or an elite athlete, and we'll be here for you when you need us.
We treat a variety of injuries, ranging from ankle sprains to ACL tears to shoulder dislocations. Our goal is to help you recover to your maximum potential.
Whether you're on the field, in the gym, or in your own backyard, our treatment and rehabilitation plans will get you back to your peak performance.
Trust our team with your sports medicine needs.
Game on.
Diverse and inclusive involvement opportunities are abundant at Clark University. Discover your perfect fit in one of our 20-plus student clubs and organizations or one of our 21 athletic teams. Here we are a family. We are one Clark, one community.
DJ Sokol Arena in Omaha, Nebraska. We are set to get second half action started here in our third game of the day between the Providence women's basketball team and Dakota State. And what a first half we saw from Jessie Giles, 22 points, over half of the team's points coming from her hands. Oh, and is there anything the Argonauts can do to slow down the attack? For me, I think it's got to start with defensive transition. They have to start getting back on defense a lot better.
Yeah, the fast pace of the Trojans is what's really killing the Argonauts. They just can't keep up with them, and I get one of your star players is nursing a bit of an ankle injury as they come back out to take the court, and I do not see Emily Maldonado anywhere out there.
Yeah, we'll have to keep you posted on what her status is. But yeah, currently right now during shoot around not warming up, so that's something we'll have to see if that, potentially progresses. Here she does come out on the floor, potentially just warming up a little bit later. But either way, defensive transition has to be where it starts because we saw a lot of fast break points come to the Trojans just by deciding that they're going to take defensive rebounds or even off of makes. All it takes is one advance that all of a sudden off the outlet where you're getting easy layups all game long. We're going to have to see if they continue that strategy, but for Providence, that has to be the key. Slow them down, make it uncomfortable, and then for Dakota State, you can do whatever you want right now because you have one player with 22 points. You can play to anybody because we all know who the attention's going to defensively this half. It has to go to Giles.
Yeah, you have to start guarding Giles. You have to make sure she does not get anywhere near the form she did in that first 20 minutes. Otherwise, you are in for a long day at the office. But here's the problem with this Dakota State side. As I've mentioned before, you guard Giles, you double team her, or you put enough pressure on her for the backside help, etc., etc. You're going to get killed elsewhere. This Dakota State team is stacked, and they are even at every single aspect of the floor. Perimeter, down in the paint. You shut down Giles. Asleason pops up. You shut down the two of them. McDonald, DeBeer, Robson, Nagel. Any of these players, in theory, could light you up. So it's really just, unfortunately, about doing damage control and seeing you can get yourself back in it on a couple of transitions.
It's got to be that kind of mentality. Now we're about set to get second half action started. Looking a bit at the box score in the first half. 48% from the floor for Dakota State. More importantly, 40% from downtown. They were able to knock it down with ease. Only 4 of 6 from the free throw line. And for the Argonauts, a half they definitely want to forget. 9 of 32 from the floor. That equates to 28%. 11% from behind the arc and 9 first half turnovers. They cleaned it up a bit towards the end of the half. They stopped turning it over as much. They started handling that Dakota State pressure a little bit better. Offensively, we saw it improve a lot, especially with Kennedy Cartwright. She caught it a lot in the middle of the lane, faced up, got buckets off of just nice, simple jump shots. Hopefully she can do some of that here in the second half. Offensively, it improved for the Argonauts. It's going to have to take a notch up in transition as Dakota State gets the first possession here in the second half. Asleason hands it off to the troublemaker in the first half for the Argonauts, Giles. Now it's over to Robson, who's going to kick it out, and a bit of a miscommunication there. Thought she had Menning on the left wing, but Menning was coming up towards the top of the key. An unfortunate turnover, but luckily for the Trojans, it's one they can afford. Inbounded into Hazard. They're trying to set up a trap at half court. It's lobbed over the top to Ezery. High post Dixon out to Cartwright. Nice ball movement here on the first possession of the game. Still a bit of a zone defense look, trying to force some tough shots. Ezery drives in from the short corner. Nice split. Split between Asleason and Menning and got the layup to go. First bucket of the half belongs to the Providence Argonauts. Now a 3 on the other way. Giles must not have liked that. Responds with a 3 of her own, and all of a sudden it's a big-time performance. 25 points from Giles.
My goodness. Every single time she picks up the rock, it looks like it's going in.
On the other end, that's going to be Cartwright's 3, no good. Last touch off of Dakota State. The number 14 Trojans have been in control since the tip. The winner of this game advancing to Sioux City, Iowa to play at the Tyson Event Center. Right now, Dakota State looks to be the team advancing. Can Providence come up with some sort of effort here as Maldonado just tries to survey this zone defense? Ezery out to Cartwright's going to be tipped out of bounds. Nice defense from Courtney Menning. Menning still has yet to make a shot from the floor, but has made up for it on the defensive end. 45-26, 8:43 left here in this third quarter.
Only 8 on the shot clock. They're going to have to be quick and sharp here.
Ezri in the corner, drives baseline. Tries to find Dixon in the middle. It was the right idea, wrong execution. That's going to be a turnover. That's 10 on the game for the Argonauts. In the paint, out to Giles. In the corner, it's going to be Robson. Drives across. Eliason's going to lose the basketball. A lot of contact inside, no foul, and now Giles going to play a little full-court defense against Emily Maldonado. Behind the back crossover, the trap waiting at half court. She's able to dribble around it. Into the middle is Cartwright. Jumper, no good. Rebound, Ezri. Layup up and good. Maldonado weaving through the defense there.
What a player Maldonado is. She is a just pure baller. Took the pressure right up and was able to split through. And give full credit to Parker Ezri. What a game she's having today for the Argonauts. And nice steal there to give them a little bit of possession here. Chance to decrease the deficit.
Maldonado going to start this possession. Pressure coming here from Robson and an offensive foul there. The pivot kind of started with the lead shoulder, and that shoulder is what led to the whistle. Now Maldonado comes out of the game. That's going to be 2 on Maldonado, so not quite in foul trouble as we are in the third quarter. And it's going to be Robson starting this possession, 45-28. So far here in this third quarter, Providence has outscored Dakota State by 1. Giles on the wing. Kepsel gets it off, sets a screen, and an offensive foul coming right back the other way. So now Providence with a chance to try to dwindle this lead a little bit. Still a lot of work to do. Luckily for them, a lot of time left in this game. Cartwright, trap coming. Has to pick up her dribble. Gets it over to Pemberton. Nice fake there to get her off her feet and cross half court. Kennedy Cartwright saves it now into the corner is Ezri. She's going to take the jumper. No good. Offensive rebound to Reed Hazard. Back into the middle of Ezri. Inside to Dixon. Layup no good. Fight for the offensive rebound. Not won by Dixon. That's a tough break. You need those layups to fall at this point in the game.
Yeah, you need those second looks, every single one of them.
And a travel on the play will send the ball right back the other direction. Dakota State definitely not a great start to the half. They're kind of being loose with the basketball. They're turning it over at different times. Shots still falling for them, but it's the small things right now that haven't really been clicking for them in this third frame.
Yeah, and if they want to get past this game comfortably and then move on and make it deep inside this tournament, they're going to need to clean all of that up. But defensively, they have shored up nicely and have done a nice job with the press to try to make sure the Argonauts can't get anything.
And Reed Hazard forced to call a timeout there. It's going to be a 30-second. So we will stay here through this 30-second timeout. The trap just too much for Reed Hazard to handle. Forced her to use a timeout. Smart heads-up play instead of losing possession, especially in a game like this where you're not quite out of it just yet. There's still a lot of time left for you to get back in this game. You can't afford to turn it over right there where a turnover essentially leads to an automatic 2 points.
No, exactly. And you need to be smart with the basketball. You need to be composed. And you need to be disciplined, which is something that we saw with the problem with Providence yesterday was they were a bit too impatient. They weren't quite as disciplined as you would have liked to see them break the pressure because, like we were talking about yesterday, so many times, the press could have been easily broken and that game could have been put to bed a lot sooner than it was.
A lot of the problems stemmed from the press being very, very up front. 4 players were within the 3-point line on the defensive side. Ezri's going to take a jumper from the elbow. That one rattles on in. Ezri with 19 quiet points, trying to match the production we've seen from Jessie Giles. Out to Kepsel. She drives in. 3 on the way. That one off the mark. That was Nagel on the play. Couldn't get it to go. Last touched off of Dakota State. Excuse me, off the Argonauts. 45-30 now, 6:11 left in the third. Inbounds to Kepsel. Hands it right back off to DeBeer. And DeBeer looks to be shaken up on the play as we still have live action, and finally the play blown dead. When she fell, it looked a bit uncomfortable, and it looks like she's in some serious pain right now.
Yeah, just grabbing at that. Imagine it's a left knee, left leg, and doesn't look like she's able to extend it all that much without extreme discomfort. You hate to see that.
Both teams head over to the sideline and talk amongst their coaches. In the meantime, 6:02 left here in the third quarter, 45-30. They're going to try to get her off her feet and off the floor. We wish the best for her recovery. Not sure how severe it is, but Shaylee DeBeer has been a nice force in this game for Dakota State. And looking at the rest of the tournament, they're definitely going to need her production.
Yeah, if they want to make it through all the way to the national championship game, as I'm imagining the Dakota State expectation is, she is going to need to be out on the court as much as possible, and that's going to be a tough blow for the Trojans to deal with.
Well, in the meantime, possession goes back to the Argonauts. It's going to be Reed Hazard with it. Goes behind the back and gets across half court around the hands of Nagel, but she comes from behind. Ooh, almost forced to travel. Pemberton from three on the right wing, and she gets to go. A little bit of electricity in the first shot from the floor for Kirsten Pemberton. 1 for 5 on the game, has added 2 rebounds and an assist. Handoff from Walsdorf. Nagel looking inside. They lob it over the top. It's Kepsel, triple teamed. Out to Walsdorf. And a 3-second violation on Morgan Kepsel, and that is one of the downsides to being as big as you are. You know the advantages that you have inside, but sometimes it makes you camp inside because you just want to have the work out for you.
Yeah, you want to be down there as much as possible in the area that you dominate extremely, extremely well. It's uncomfortable to get outside of the paint.
And all of a sudden, this game back to 12, 45-33. Providence trying to get back in it. It was a big 3 on the last possession. Dixon, free throw jumper, good. Hopefully you haven't left our stream quite yet. We still got a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. This game was once close to 20. Now it's back down to 10. It's going to be out to Walsdorf. Walsdorf has been pretty quiet so far. Into Kepsel. Kepsel rips through. Tough layup, good. Falling away to the right side. Nice angle off the middle of the glass. Easy bucket there for Morgan Kepsel.
Yeah, that's important to extend the lead. Kepsel with a nice play there to get inside. Tough play to get it up and in.
And that entry pass into the middle, tipped and stolen, 2-on-2. And it's going to be knocked in there. That's Robson. 7 points on the game for Lexi Robson. The 5'7" junior guard has had a great game, and now she's doing it on the defensive end. That's going to be tipped and recovered. Another turnover. Morgan Huber comes up with it. Haven't seen much of her there with a big play.
Kepsel there with a nice tip to get it onto the steal, though. She deserves credit as well.
And Nagel, tough shot, no good. Kepsel with the putback, also no good. Kepsel, the 6'2" junior center from Canova, South Dakota, has had a very, very good game. You can start to see maybe some of the fatigue setting in, but she's 4 for 5 from the floor, has been a huge force here for the Trojans. Ezri inside to Dixon. That pass just a little bit too hard, but they're bailed out. Possession stays here. Last touch off of Nagel. We're going to see some subs coming to the game. Kepsel comes out. Back in is Leeson.
Giles also coming back in, as well as Hom for the Argonauts.
Into the middle of the paint. Ezri with a little Dirk turnaround. That one rattles off and in.
21 points for Parker Essery.
Jessie Diggins can feel the production right on her tail. Giles with 25 points in this one. Cross-court pass, Nagel. Walsdorf, 3, no. Esri with the rebound, nice job there. Reed Hazard brings it up the floor here. Guarded by Giles. Into the middle of the paint, it's Hom. Pemberton drives in. Hom, Hazard to Cartwright. 12 on the shot clock. Cartwright gets a tough little layup to go. Had 2 big jumpers at the end of the first half to keep it close, and that bucket brings it to 10. That's Leeson to Nagel. Nagel working on Hom. Walsdorf gets stripped and stolen by Hazard. Here's the opportunity for the Argonauts. They are right back in this one. We talked about at halftime, defensive transition was going to be crucial for them to get back in it. We've seen a better job of them executing, but there almost turns it over. Bounce pass inside. Esri with the finish. Time out, Dakota State. A 30-second timeout will stay here. Oh, and the Argonauts are back.
Parker Esri, have yourself a day. 23 points. No one else for the Argonauts even in double digits.
Kennedy Cartwright with 6. That is the most points besides the production we've seen from Esri, 9 of 15 from the floor. It has been a performance to remember, and she is single-handedly keeping her team in the game. Out of this timeout, how do they keep this up? How do they keep this run going? Because you know Dakota State's not done.
No, Dakota State's one of those teams that they're going to come out angry after this timeout. You'd imagine you need to capitalize off that anger. You need to make them use that frustration and make mistakes, but then you have to take advantage of the mistakes. And so far, Providence, at almost every chance they have been given, they have made the Trojans punished for their mistakes thus far. They're still not back level, though. 7 points still to go. Job not done. They need to keep this up, keep this momentum going for the final 12:21 at game clock.
And the mistakes that Mr. Godberson is referring to is going to start on this defensive possession. Can they force some errors from the side of the Trojans? The number 14 team in the country with only 3 losses on the year. From the top of the key, into the corner, right inside. As Leeson, layup, yes! Right out of the timeout, they throw a punch into the mouth of the Argonauts. Back to 10. Pemberton threading the needle, getting through defenders. Cartwright wanted that 3, pump fake, didn't take it. Hom in the middle of the paint, inside to Esri, and another one. She matches the 25 from Giles. What a game we have now, back to 8. 1:42 left in the third. McDonald in the paint, Giles, no, a lot of contact. The crowd here with mainly Dakota State fans wanted a foul, but now Giles trying to set a trap on the other end. Here's Hazard, down by 8. Final minute 30 of the quarter. Hom into Esri. Into the short corner, jumper. No good from Hom. Fight for the ball, and that's going to be a foul on the play. That's going to go against Cartwright.
Cartwright also, though, was shoved from behind into that contact. I don't know how much she knew about it. There have been 94 total points scored, and 50 of them have come from Jesse Giles of the Trojans and Parker Esri from the Argonauts.
We have seen a fantastic performance from 2 individuals. Now Kepsel going to work. Goes up, tries to go under, can't quite. Nice defense from Esri. Foul on the floor. That foul's going to go against Cartwright. Excuse me, that was on Hazard. That's the second foul on Reed Hazard. Hazard's done a good job today. Inbound stolen by Brooklyn Hom. Less than a minute to go. A chance to bring it to 6 or further on this possession. Trap waiting at half court. To Hom. Cross court, short corner. Can they get the bucket they desperately need? Cross-court pass, Pemberton. Hom. Blocked, but fouled. Heading to the free throw line here. Brooklyn Harn. 87.5% from the free throw line this season. Has appeared in all 15 games, no starts, but has been big the last 2 nights. When Maldonado went out yesterday, Harn did a good job. Now she's here again. Makes the first, brings it to 7. This game was at one point an 18-point lead for Dakota State. They were running away with it. Now with less than 40 seconds left in the third, we have a competition. 51-45.
This quarter, it's been 20-9 in favor of the Argonauts. Make that 20-11.
Kepsel with the bucket, now less than 25 to play in the quarter. Back to 8. Hazard gives it to Harn. And it's picked from behind. That's Courtney Menning. 10 seconds on the clock, gets it up the floor. It's McDonald in the paint. Giles, layup good. 3 on the clock. They need to get one off here. That one off the mark. All of a sudden back to 10 with quick buckets from Giles and Kepsel. 55-45. We have 10 minutes left in this one. We will be back in a moment for fourth quarter action between Providence and Dakota State. What a game we've seen and what a game we have in front of us. We'll be back in a moment.
Diverse and inclusive involvement opportunities are abundant at Clark University. Discover your perfect fit in one of our 20-plus student clubs and organizations or one of our 21 athletic teams. Here we are a family. We are one Clark, one community.
Because no two sports-related injuries are alike, our sports medicine team is made up of people from all medical backgrounds covering a variety of specialties.
We work together to create a treatment plan customized to your individual injury.
We understand that activity is not limited by age, gender, or skill level, and we offer care that is tailored to you.
Sports injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend warrior or an elite athlete, and we'll be here for you when you need us.
We treat a variety of injuries, ranging from ankle sprains to
And Dakota State's going to start this fourth quarter here, 55-45 the score. Kepsel pump fakes. Giles has had a game so far. 3 on the way from Kepsel off the mark. A nice attempt to save it, but it's recovered by the Argonauts.
Saw Kepsel knock down a few threes in the warm-up, so I'm not too surprised to see her pull up from distance.
Even with that miss, still 5 of 8 on the game. Kennedy Cartwright dribbles in. May have been a travel, but Ezri capitalizes. Back to 8 points, the deficit. A drive here, kick out. What can Dakota State do here? The anxiety has to be building, especially with that turnover. The nerves building for Dakota State fans here at the DJ Sokol Arena in Omaha, Nebraska. Dixon inside, spins, layup, good! Back to 6. It was 6 for a moment in the third, and Dakota State came back with 2 quick ones to shut down the Argonauts. Now the Argonauts right back in it. It's Kepsel. Turnaround, loses it. Foul called from behind. Oh, and you're shaking your head. You disagree with that one.
It looked like she just turned right into somebody that was standing there. There would look to be very, very little contact there. I wouldn't have given that as a foul.
Definitely a close one that could be debated. Dakota State lives to see another possession. It's Menning into the corner. A big time 3 on the way, and it's Esleeson. 31% from 3 on the year. The junior forward from Concordia, Nebraska hits one when it counts. Reed Hazard getting trapped in the worst spot possible. She almost loses it. Heads up play, throwing it off the defender, and they need to stop the bleeding. Big time 3 on the last possession from Esleeson. Let's see what the Argonauts can get here. Hazard, middle of the floor is Ezri. Rips right, rips through to the right, and one finish from Parker Ezri. 29 points on 12 of 18 from the floor. All of a sudden, she has outscored Jessie Giles.
My word, Parker Essery is going off this afternoon in an effort to keep the Argonauts alive and above water.
Free throw good from the 2-time All-American. There's a reason she's been recognized as one of the best in the country twice. Menning stops at the free throw line. Now it's Giles' turn to respond. Going up against Cartwright. Pump fakes, drives, in the lane. Giles, off the back iron, no good. It's a 6-point game, a chance to maybe bring it to a possession here. Pemberton, cross-court pass. Reed Hazard from the parking lot, that one off the mark. That could have been big time.
That would have been big time. way short there. I don't know if I would have advised taking that from as far deep as she did. I might have taken a step forward or so.
Now coming back the other way is McDonald. Middle of the paint to Esleeson. Now faces up on Ezeri. Nice to see Shaylee DeBeer back in the game from the injury we saw earlier. Out to Waldorf. Waldorf loses it. Loose ball on the floor. Both teams on it. It's Pipperton coming up with it. And a foul that is going to benefit Providence big time.
That gives them the ball back. What a fight on the ground, getting through the scrum and getting it out the other side.
Despite 15 turnovers, Providence knocking on the door. Can they make it back-to-back nights where they're able to escape with a victory here at the DJ Sokol Arena? Cartwright putting herself in trouble. Gets it to Dixon. Now an opportunity. Dixon forced to kick it out. Now they have to reset. The chance was there. Spin move from Cartwright. Opposite to Pemberton. Dixon on the right block. Tough look. Somehow gets it off the front of the rim and in. Now in a transition back the other way, wasting no time. It's a 4-point game. Walsdorf, no. Last touched off of Esleeson. We got a game.
Providence takes advantage of this upcoming play, and it's a one-possession game.
We get a full timeout. We will take a break with them. 6:34 to go, 58-54. We got a game when we come back.
Diverse and inclusive involvement opportunities are abundant at Clark University. Discover your perfect fit in one of our 20-plus student clubs and organizations or one of our 21 athletic teams. Here we are a family. We are one Clark, one community. At Clark University, we offer a variety of majors and minors to help you in your academic journey. Tap into your subconscious and consider what you love to do, what you are drawn to do, and what you excel at. Here, we are a family. We are one Clark, one community.
Welcome back into DJ Sokol Arena. Providence on the verge of history. Down by as many as 18 in the first half. They trail by just 4. Right now, Parker Essery already with a career high 30 points. Broke her previous career high of 28.
She's had 27, 28, and 28 in her career as season highs.
And that bounce pass is stolen. Huge missed opportunity. Now a chance for Dakota State to capitalize. Walsdorf. And one finish for Savannah Walsdorf. That is a momentum shift to say the least. Heading to the free throw line for a chance to get this out to a 7-point game.
Yeah, what a move down the wing. What a wasted opportunity there from the Argonauts. And the missed free throw makes it still a 2-possession game.
Still within reach for the Argonauts and more than enough time. 6:08 left in the final frame. Dixon with it. Gets in the lane, kicks out opposite. Kennedy Cartwright, nice pump fake. Jumper just outside the lane. Gets it to go right back to 4. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up. The number 14 Dakota State Trojans on the ropes now. 3 losses on the year, undefeated in conference play. Providence staring them down as a tip out of bounds. Last touched off of Esleeson. And now a sub coming into the game. It's going to be Nagel.
Cartwright getting a tip to it, forcing Esleeson to try to keep it in. Not stretching far enough there, the number 20. And just like that, Parker Essery has a chance to make it a 1-possession game on the 3-on-1. She's caught on a travel, and it's going the other way.
I like the aggressiveness from Essery, especially considering the day she's had. It's your hot hand. Go and try to get that bucket, especially with no teammates parallel with you. Nice to just have a chance to go get a bucket. Unfortunate result. Now it's up to the defense. Dakota State trying to respond and put this game away. And Esleeson, double team coming now. It's back out, wide open 3. That one off the mark. That could have been big, but Nagel with a nice hustle play. It's going to be last off of Nagel, but big round of applause to her for getting down on the floor, diving for that loose ball. Ultimately didn't give him possession, but mad props to her.
Superman style dive down onto the floor, trying to keep it alive.
Shaylee Nagel with 2 points on the game on 1 of 3 from the floor. They go to break the press, and they do. Ezri on the wing. Into the high post to Dixon. Kicks it out opposite. Kennedy Cartwright comes up with it. Pump fakes. Jabs, avoids the travel jumper, and she hits! Kennedy Cartwright, 5 of 12 from the floor, 10 points, and it's a 2-point game. And a travel on the other end against Savannah Walsdorf. This is March.
Whoa, baby, hold on to your butts. What a final 5 minutes we've got at DJ Sokol Arena.
60-58. What was once an 18-point lead in the first half and looked to be a rout has turned into an instant classic where Providence might pull off a historic comeback. Down by 2. Still 4:50 left. Plenty of time for either team to take control. We could still see Dakota State run away with it. We could see Providence open this game up. Cartwright, right wing. She's had the hot hand the last few possessions. Reed has her. Working against his zone defense. And a big time 3 from Pemberton. No good. And a foul on the backside from Ezri. Only her 3rd foul, so she's not quite in danger yet. 1 more and you have to start looking at it. But right now she's in the green. 60-58. Dakota State with a chance to make it 2 possessions. A little bit of confusion on the inbound, but it's going to be Nagel who comes in and helps out. It's Robson over to Walsdorf. Dakota State needs to calm down and get a bucket here. Still plenty of time for them to take control. Nice baseline drive, kicks out opposite, wide open 3 from Giles, and who else? Jessie Giles with a big one to make it back to 5.
She is insulted that Ezri has 30. Giles now with 30.
The 30-point club, 2 members currently present in today's game. Dixon inside the pass, just a bit too hard, out of bounds. And boy, this Dakota State crowd is in it.
Yeah, they are trying their hardest to make sure that their team gets over the line and is able to ride the momentum that Providence has created.
And now a bit of clock management here if you're the Trojans. 3:41 left, you're up 5. Kepsel gets it over to Nagel. Out on the wing, trying to get inside, they do. Kicks out opposite, wide open 3 from Walsdorf. That one off the mark, that could have been huge, but a rebound and a foul.
That foul looks like it's being called on Kepsel. Argonaut ball.
It must have been some sort of push off on the rebound attempt. That's 3 fouls for Morgan Kepsel. Still a 5-point game. Now the pressure really amping up here from the Trojans. The number 14 team in the country doesn't want the season to end here. And that may have been another travel there, but no whistle. Play on. Cartwright has been the hot hand. Dixon turns around, jumper, no. And it's going to be recovered by Giles. Up the floor, here we go. Courtney Menning into the block. It's going to be Kepsel going to work. In the middle of the lane. Up and a foul called on the play. Goes down hard. I'm not sure about that one, and Owen, neither are you.
No, sirree, I am not. Parker Esri had her hands straight up in the air. Kepsel just lost the ball in her hand. There was no contact on the arm whatsoever. Disagree with that call.
Kepsel right now with 10 points on the game. Had 20 last time out against Bellevue in their NSAA championship win. She's been great so far for this team today.
Every single time I see a foul on the court and they don't call, or I disagree with it, I just feel like the headline from The Simpsons, old man yells at cloud, I remember when basketball wasn't so soft.
That's the kind of presence you bring to this broadcast.
That's all I'm good for,
the
folks.
old school style of basketball.
I'm just the old man who is upset that things are changing.
All right, Owen, now 2:51 to go in this contest. You're down 7 now. What was once a 2-point game, now a 5-0 run here from the Trojans. What's the message right now in the huddle for Providence in a game where you've seen them down by 18, within 2, and now all of a sudden it's at 7? How do you rally the troops?
You just got to tell them that what do you have to lose? You lose this game, well, your season's done, obviously depressing, but look at the effort you put in. You could have rolled over and let this absolute demolition derby get the better of you early on. You were down by almost 20, and now you're down within maybe 2-3 possessions. You have kept it close. It's been at 2 points. However, you just got to let them know, what more do you have to play for? Get out there, finish this job.
Cartwright with it, and it's even more impressive that Maldonado has not appeared in this half, and a turnover from Pemberton. That's a big one. This gives Dakota State a chance to really start to turn the wheels a bit. But Maldonado has not played this half, and the comeback started with her on the bench. That says a lot about the players on this team. Next man up, they have lived to the challenge, and Cartwright picks up the foul.
Yeah, they're really rallying behind the loss of Emily Maldonado, but they are just falling apart at the wrong moment here, as it looks like 2 easy buckets, you'd imagine, as it looks like Courtney Menning's going to be the one going to the line.
Courtney Menning, no points on the game, 0 of 6 from the floor, 0 of 3 from 3, gets the first one to go, but has found ways to contribute still. 3 assists and 2 rebounds so far in the game. And more importantly, gets 2 of the biggest free throws of the game to go. Now it's back up to 9 for Dakota State. 2:30 left, still plenty of time for the Argonauts. They just have to remain disciplined. And a nice split of the defenders. Reed Hazard out to Cartwright. Pump fakes, wanted that 3. That's a 2 or 3 times now. She's hesitated from the 3-point line as Pemberton catches out there. Over to Reed Hazard, who's now going to take the 3. That one off the mark. Rebound to McDonald. McDonald's got 5. Up the floor, Giles, easy bucket. That's 32 for Giles. Kepsel is the next best with 12, and a foul on the ensuing possession from Menning. It's 32 points for Jessie Giles. Been a day to remember.
Leading the team in rebounds as well with 5 boards on the day.
This season, she has now surpassed a career high with that last bucket. She had 30 earlier in the year against Concordia. Now with 32. And a big response there. The 3 goes back to 8. That was a big one. We've had 2 players in this game reach new career highs in points. And both of those players had career highs of at least 28 points. That shows what kind of production we've seen from both sides today. 1:37 remains, and a chance for who else but Jessie Giles. Free throw good. Brings it back to 9. 33 for Giles. 14 of 19 from the floor, and Owen 4 of 5 from deep. She has been more than unreal. It's been unfathomable, the performance we've seen from her, creeping up on a 40-point performance.
I don't think we've known a Trojan hero to put on this kind of performance since Hector himself out of the Iliad. What a performance today and from Jessie Giles.
Jessie Giles has been the focal point. We will take a break with the full timeout. 10-point lead for Dakota State. 1:27 left when we come back.
Diverse and inclusive involvement opportunities are abundant at Clark University. Discover your perfect fit in one of our 20-plus student clubs and organizations or one of our 21 athletic teams. Here we are a family. We are one Clark, one community.
Seven remains in this game. 71-61, Dakota State on top. This game was as many as an 18-point lead for the Trojans, then got down to 2 with a few minutes to play, now back up to 10. Argonauts with the ball out of this timeout. Not a lot of time left for Reed Hazard to get something going for her team. Maldonado has not played this whole second half, nursing the ankle injury. Essery picks up where she left off. 32 now for Essery, keeps on setting a new career high. Layup inside, no good, and it's recovered by Essery. Still a minute left. Got to be careful if you're Dakota State defensively. Out to Cartwright, now to Pemberton. She's going to take a long one. That one misses left, nothing doing. And nice box out there from McDonald, keeping Essery away from it. 8-point game, 59 seconds left. Fouls are probably going to start any minute now. Pemberton going to play straight up defensively right now. And now blow by here, kicks it out to Giles, over to McDonald. Short corner, no fouls here. They're going to play straight up despite being down 8. Now a chance for a steal, loose ball. It's going to be recovered by Dakota State, and a travel on the play. Forgive me.
You're forgiven.
I was begging for the foul, wondering when it was going to come, and then they forced the turnover. They wasted a little bit of time in the process, but they also didn't give up any points.
Everything looked clean from my vantage point. Here we go for the Argonauts. Big possession coming for Providence.
35 on the game clock, cross-court pass. This is it for Pemberton. Yes! 5-point game. It's into Robson. They have to foul now, and they do. Pemberton with the biggest shot of the game. It keeps them within arm's distance. 71-66. The Trojans looking to escape now. If you are a Trojan fan, odds are you've been sweating most of this half. And I can speak for the people inside DJ Sokol Arena that rings true. First free throw good, though. Dakota State looking to close it out.
I don't have a stake in this fight. I'm still sweating. This has been thrilling.
Second free throw good as well, and a timeout comes from the Argonauts. We will stay here through the timeout, 73-66. It is a full timeout, but we'll sit here and just break down the game. Obviously, still a chance here for the Argonauts, but Owen, a lot's going to have to happen now. They're going to have to get a bucket probably within the first 6 seconds of when they inbound.
Yeah, you absolutely have to get points on the board very quickly, as it looks like we'll have a substitution after this. It's going to be Morgan Kepsel coming in to try to shore up the defense down low, getting the big presence, maybe trying to stop Parker Essery from getting the points, as it looks like that has been the plan all day long. Parker Essery has said to Jesse Giles, anything you can do, I can do as well. 34-32, Giles has the 2-point lead.
It's so funny because you look at the score and you're also kind of keeping mental tabs on what the score is between Giles and Essery. It's 73-66, but it's 34-32 in the individual battle. But 28.8 seconds in the game, that matters. The winner will head to Sioux City, Iowa, to head to the round of 16 at the Tyson Event Center. A lot at stake for both of these teams. Dakota State has had a near flawless season, almost no blemishes. 25-3, a perfect 14-0 in conference play. Providence 9-5, a much shorter season, but a big win yesterday and an unbelievable rally today without their leading scorer. It is something for the history books. Regardless of result, you have to tip your cap to the way the Argonauts have battled in this game without their general. And now they're taking a moment to take it out. 28.8 from the sideline. They're going to need a bucket within the first 10 seconds. Into Dixon. Now to Hazard. Screen coming from Essery. Essery. Now Hazard for three. That one way off the mark, and that might do it. And now a timeout coming from Dakota State just to try to organize themselves, and it's a full one. We will take a break with that full timeout. 73-66, 21.7 left in the clock. Actually, we'll stay here through this timeout. 21.7 left, not enough time to really go to a break. And Dakota State on the verge of pulling away from this one. 2 free throws here, and you'd assume, especially with a second or two being taken off the clock to foul, it'll probably be enough to do it.
Yeah, and absolutely, they've earned this win. As much as Providence has pushed them, Dakota State has been the better team from the start, from opening tip-off to now. They have dominated this game. They have been the better team, although Providence, give them all the credit in the world. They fought hard for 40 full minutes and made this a game when at times it looked like it was going to be a rout.
And credit to Parker Essery for the way she has played. I mean, she has been somebody all season long that they've gone to. The 6'1" junior center from Kamala, Washington, has been excellent. A 3-time first-team All-Conference, 2-time All-American. In the absence of Maldonado, who else but her to step up?
She is 1 rebound shy of a 32-point double-double.
Not many people can say that they have done that, especially at the collegiate level.
Especially at the national tournament.
That is a tough feat to nail, but the All-American has done it. Foul before the inbound. Nice job to save clock. Probably the smart move if you're the Argonauts. On the season, just looking at Essery, 3 20-point games and had those 28 points we talked about earlier against number 6 Carroll this season. Despite all the double teams she sees, what a day it's been. But Giles, excuse me, not Giles, the free throw there. Good for Dakota State to extend this lead up to 8, now to 9. That should just about do it, and it was Giles with the 2 free throws there, up to 34. But another steal here and a foul that's going to send Giles back to the free throw line, and that should just about do it here.
It should just about do it. It will just about do it, and oh my goodness gracious, Jessie Giles has the chance to, I believe, push her total to 38 points.
37 now with the first free throw, the lead up to 10. Dakota State, after the struggle we saw in the second half, looks to survive. 38 points for the junior. The Madison, Wisconsin native has made her presence felt in Omaha. Harn, 3, no. Tipped out. Pemberton tries to come up with it. It's loose. 2 on the clock. Dixon's shot up, and that will do it. Dakota State will advance to the second round of the NAIA National Tournament with a 77-66 win over Providence, and that will do it for our coverage. Before we leave, just one quick shout out from the broadcast crew, Owen Godberson and myself, to the Providence Argonauts. What a comeback effort they put together. Comes up just short, but that will do it here from the DJ Sokol Arena. Stay tuned for the 8 o'clock game later on today. It's going to be the Providence men's side taking on Bethel, Indiana, who upset Texas A&M Texarkana yesterday. Dakota State, 11-point victory. They will advance to Sioux City, Iowa, and play in the second round for the round of 16 in the NAIA tournament. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you at 8 o'clock.